All right, welcome back to Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shullity, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. Maybe it's the black and white jacket. Maybe it's Gateway Computers. Remember them? Or Chick-fil-A. We'll go with any one of those. All right. How about we jump right in and take a look at what's going on with that corn boards. These corn markets are your money. That's important. March is down 5 cents, 6.30 and a quarter. Been down pretty much all day. May's off 5.5 cents at 6.31 and 3/4. About 3 cents off the lows. So it's not as bad as it's been. That's the positive. How about soybeans? What's happening over in the soybean market? Soybeans are down 15 and a quarter cents in the front month. That's March. 15.66 and a half is last, and that's about 7.5 cents off the low. So we're in okay zone. May's off 16 cents as well. 15.70 and a quarter is last, and again, that's off the low. So not too bad. And we're having a pullback day. Obviously, we got a WASDE Wednesday tomorrow, so that's going to be a little bit of why we've got a little bit of that retrenching happening. How about this though? Wheat 10 and 3/4 cents higher in Chicago. That March contract 7.79 and a half. May's up 8 and 3/4 cents right behind it at 7.84 and 3/4. So not too bad in that Chicago wheat. What about the Kansas City wheat, the hard red wheat down there? 9 and 3/4 cents higher in that March contract at 8.01 and a half. It's about less than a penny off the highs. May's up 9.5 cents at 8.05 and a half. So that's a half cent off the highs there as well. So hard red wheat doing pretty well here going into the end of the day. How about spring wheat in Minneapolis? 18 and 3/4 cents higher. 9.40 is last. 9.41 and a quarter is the high. So 1.25 cent away from the high there. May is up 17 and 3/4 cents to 9.36 and 3/4. So not bad. It's a weak kind of a day today. Let's take a look at cotton. Cotton's something we talk about a lot. Up 106 points to 126.63. So not a bad day in cotton either. All right, let's bring in our guest, the esteemed Ted Seifried from Zaner Ag Hedge. He's in Chicago. Thanks for being on the show here, Ted. What do you think? I know we have a report tomorrow, so whatever we both say probably right now is going to be meaningless in 24 hours' time, but it's still worth talking about. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, all right. So, profit taking in front of a report is not an uncommon thing, and that's really what we have here. Soybeans have had a tremendous run. So shoring up some of those long positions in front of a risk point tomorrow sounds like a good idea to me. Same thing with corn. You got the opposite thing going on in wheat because they've been selling wheat as the short end of the spread there. So, yeah, really, that's all we've got here today. Now, what is this report going to do? Looking at the trade guesses, the average trade guesses, I think the trade's right on. I mean, I really feel like this report could go either way. We're not too aggressive or looking, in my opinion, too bullish of numbers to come out of the USDA for South American production, for example. So, yeah, it can kind of go either way. I will say this. I don't think this report tomorrow has anything on it that is game-changingly bearish. If we do get a report that is bearish versus expectations, maybe you have a knee-jerk reaction lower, but it would be temporary because we'll go right back to saying South American weather and the USDA is too slow. They will have to make these changes down the line, lower South American production and higher exports for the U.S., meaning tighter balance sheets, justifying the price moves we've got to the upside. And I'm going to say one more time, Scott, I ultimately think corn's going to be the bigger story. The big losses in South America for soybeans, that's there. We know about them. We're very worried about having to price ration soybeans. And these export sales that we're seeing come in for both old crop and new crop are saying that the rest of the world is worried about that too. But everybody's taking the second season corn crop down in Brazil for granted, that it will just be there at 86 million metric tons. I have a really hard time thinking they're going to get to that number. Put that together with the losses in the first season crop in Brazil, the losses in Argentina and Paraguay, and all of a sudden you've got a huge hole in corn production in the world, and corn might be the story.
Yeah, I agree with you there. That's you've got some good numbers. All right, really appreciate that. Stay right where you're at. We're going to go away, pay some bills, and come back and talk livestock with Ted Seifried from Zaner Ag Hedge after these messages. Welcome back to Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shullity, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. And you know what? In about, 7 minutes, the Cow Guy closed, 1 Central, 2 Eastern. We're going to close up this ag market for you so you know the closing price is going home, but we're also going to go into a deep dive on what might have affected some of those closing prices. So stay with us. 1 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Eastern. The Cow Guy closed. Should be fun. All right, let's take a look at the live cattle market, what we've got going on here right now as we do go into that close. We're rolled over just a little bit easier here. Look at that. Feb's off 1 tick, 2 cents, 141.80. April's off 40 cents to 146 even. So kind of a quiet board still in that cattle market, live cattle market. Let's see if we've got anything better in the feeders. Feeders may benefit here from a lower corn board, and they are. March up $1.67 to 166.70. while we've got April up $1.35 to 171.62. So a decent, solid feeder board as we move over to the lean hogs. How about lean hogs? What's going on over here? A lot of folks have some questions about what's going on over here. Let's take a look at April. 282 higher, $2.82 higher in April, 104.10s last. May's up 255 at 107.37. All right, let's bring back in Ted Seifried from Zaner Ag Hedge. Ted, what are your thoughts there? I mean, there's a lot to talk about if you ask me, but boy, the lean hog market is strong.
Yeah, let's talk about hogs. Woo! We're bull spreading hogs. Wow. I don't remember the last time. I mean, I do, but it's been a really long time since we bull spread the hog market other than corrective days. It's really been the strength out in the back. But now we've got the front months actually moving. We finally come to the time where we've seemingly worked through all the bigger weights up front. And now we're stuck with less animals, disease pressure, and a strong domestic demand on top of strong export demand. Now the speculators are getting interested in this bullish looking chart that we have. And look out. Wow. It's good to see that April. Forget about the February. The February is not a thing. Don't look at the February. But everything else, over 100. That's really great to see and look really good. Cattle, wow, we're just kind of stuck waiting for the next shoe to drop in cash. I think it'll go higher. I think eventually we're going to go test that 150 area in the April fats. But, we're waiting. We want to get more direction from the cash. We want reassurance that the cash market's moving higher. And like you said, feeders stronger on a day where corn is down. But I don't know. Let's see what the USDA report brings us tomorrow.
Yeah, you make some great points there. And, the last thing I would like, if I was going to tie a little red bow around everything you just said, Ted, would be the fact that, we're in severely inflationary times, and we get a CPI number the day after we have that Wednesday WASDE. So that's going to be something that also could play into things and be a little bit interesting if we see these prices get a little hot and, catch fire. So I really appreciate you being on. That was great content. That's Ted Seifried from Zaner Ag Hedge. He's in Chicago. I'm going to bring it back to Nashville so I can throw this over to Suzanne.